Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today what we're going to talk about is being single and some of the benefits that come with being single and how you shouldn't overthink being single, but rather use it as a time to self-reflect and grow. Hope you enjoy. There is a stigma around being single, it seems. People generally seem almost put off by the idea of someone just focusing on themselves. After all, being in a relationship is the only way you can grow as a person, right? You can only mature alongside someone else versus maturing independently of others, right? You can only be fulfilled as a person if you are not alone, quote unquote, right? I am here to tell you that being single is not only okay, but necessary at some point in your life. I'm not talking about being single for a few weeks in between relationships. Being single should be treated as a time of self-discovery. It will also allow you to appreciate your solitude versus letting solitude become your weakness. You see, when you are afraid of being alone, you will let others, specifically romantic partners, get away with bad behavior and exploit your fear of loneliness. You will stay in toxic relationships, and you will let yourself be walked all over, only because dealing with these behaviors is less agonizing than the thought of being alone. So ask yourself, what is so terrible about being alone? Why don't you enjoy your own company? Are you afraid of others' judgments about your relationship status? Have you been suckered by Hollywood into thinking that a relationship is pure joy even though you know that's not true, but you cannot stop fantasizing and obsessing about finding that quote-unquote perfect someone? Are you watching all your friends get married, wondering when it will be your turn? And just a little side note here, if you identify as someone who has these thoughts but abandons a relationship either because you are bored or any other petty reasons, then you are to blame. And that might be something to be more mindful of in the future. Too many people abandon their future in pursuit of the present, and frankly it's become a bit of an epidemic. I plan to make a separate video about that. Anyway, moving on. You cannot expect to be the best version of yourself in a relationship if you are not already the best version of yourself outside of a relationship. And you cannot expect to identify those who are working on becoming the best versions of themselves without being on that journey yourself. Of course, I realize no one will ever be the best version of themselves in or outside of relationships, since that takes a lifetime of work, but I hope you understand the message there. After being single and truly getting to know yourself, what some discover is that they want to remain single, which is perfectly fine. They realize that the stress and drama that typically comes with relationships, since most people never take the time to work through their issues and get to know themselves and control their own emotions, is not something they want in their life, which is frankly understandable. For those that discover they would find fulfillment in a relationship, being single for an extended period of time and getting to know themselves and what their bad habits are, what their likes are, what their dislikes are, allows them to be more diligent in finding a good partner who complements them, who is not toxic, and who also has had time to become a more mature partner willing to care about your happiness as much as they care about their own. Being single and taking some time for yourself is a strength, not a weakness. Learn to ignore the stigma behind it. If you find that you are codependent or chronically lonely or depressed because you are single, you have to take time to figure out why you feel these unhealthy emotions and urges and then deal with them. You must realize that bringing these behaviors into relationships will either result in bad outcomes for your partner or yourself. I realize that some of these things are easier said than done. Someone feeling lonely today will not wake up tomorrow feeling magically fulfilled and content with themselves. Getting to this mindset will take practice. Often what some come to realize is that being lonely is often confused with boredom if having a partner around was the sole focus of their energy. If that is the case, explore new interests, find new hobbies, find something that does not bore you, and then revisit your feelings and figure out if you were feeling lonely or just bored. For those of you that have not had much time to be single and to work on yourself, I would encourage you to consider this if you are not already in a relationship that you find fulfilling, of course. For those that are currently single or have taken time to be single and work on themselves, Think about how it has benefited you and how you grew or are growing. Think about what bad habits and behaviors you have left behind because you had time to acknowledge them and deal with them. And also think about what bad behaviors and habits you used to tolerate but will no longer. Alright, that's going to do it for this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share this video around, and leave a comment letting me know your thoughts. Thank you for tuning into Stoic Strategies. Take care.